Okay, so just grab a node and drag it into the canvas. Usually you want to start with like a number node, because this is the kind of node that you can just type in any number you want and use the add node, multiply node, etc. to calculate something for you. So here I'll just drag the output of this node to the input of the add node, and the same with this other number node. I just drag the output to the input of the add node, and you'll see that the two numbers add up. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we bring in a multiply node, and we're going to use the output of our add node and multiply it by the output of this other number node that we have. So we're using the same output of this number node multiple times. We can use the same output from the add node multiple times as well, and again connect it to the add node, and you'll see that the number will multiply appropriately. The other thing you can do by double clicking on the output is you can change the color of the node, which definitely helps for organization, especially when you have a lot of nodes on the screen. And it's really okay. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna start a process to help calculate the cost of some containers. So I'm gonna start with all my input nodes. We call them number nodes here, and I'm gonna label them appropriately, because when there gets a lot of nodes on the screen, you want to make sure that you know exactly what the purpose is of each node. So just by clicking on that little triangle in the top right, you can retitle your node, and when you're done, close this little side menu. So I'm just going to add all of my input nodes. So we have the number of men on the job, we have the rate, which is the hourly rate, we have the overtime rate, we have the amount of time it takes to build a container, and we have the amount of hours. Okay, so now I know that since we have a normal rate and we have an overtime rate, we're going to have to calculate two different costs, which is our normal and our overtime. So I'm just going to bring these multiply nodes so I can calculate the amount of hours times the rate, or the amount of hours times the overtime rate. So I'll call this one normal pay. And we'll use the rate, we'll multiply it by the overtime rate to get the overtime pay. Now, just because of while looking at it and planning things out, just reorganize things, because you always want to keep things kind of organized here. And as you go along, you're going to realize that some of your logic doesn't make sense. Maybe you need to change something, move something around, and just